It's that time of the day, y'all, where it's the Talking with Sue Ham show, a show that's inspirational, motivational, and offers a lot of good comedy. This is the show to help you jumpstart your day, jumpstart your life, jumpstart your year. So make sure you're tuning in and listening. Get ready, because here it is, the Talking with Sue Ham show. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Talking with Sue Ham show. I am your host, Sue Ham, baby, and I am delighted as always to be with you yet for another show to simply inspire you and motivate you. Now let me start this show off by saying, if you are alive, you're healthy, and you have breath, you should know that it's never too late to live on purpose and follow your dreams. Incredibly, I'm not the only one who thinks and feels this way. My next guest feels exactly the same way. Linda Rondeau began pursuing her dreams much later in life after retiring from a long career in human services. Today, Linda is the author of several books entitled The Other Side of Darkness, which is a 2012 Selah Award winner for the Best New Novel, and a book entitled America 2, The Reformation. Her third book is slated to come out in December. But get this, just when Linda's career was beginning to take off, she was given the devastating news that she was diagnosed with cancer. Wow. I got to tell you, folks, I am just really jumping with mad excitement because I've got Linda on the show today, and she's here to share her heartwarming message of it's never too late to accomplish your dreams, no matter your age or your circumstances. Listeners out there in Radioland, please help me give a warm welcome to author Linda Rondeau. Hey, Linda, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I'm so pleased to be here today.
Man, I have to tell you, well, woman, I have to tell you.
A woman, huh?
And you know, when I say man, I have to tell you, it's just a figure of speech, you know, but when I read your story, you know, briefly, and learning that you started pursuing your dreams like late in life after to become an author, and it's something that you wanted to do as a child, is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're born to be a writer, I think, really.
Yeah.
Just, life takes channels. You know, like a little stream, you know, and it streams off here and streams off there, and eventually, before you know it, the river gets ready, and you get in the boat, and there you go.
There you go. Well, I got to tell you, when I was reading your story, I was just like frozen in my tracks, and I was just like, man, her story is similar to mine, because you always knew that you were born to be a writer. However, you went into a government job, and, you know, you retired from that, and finally, I guess you decided, okay, I'm going to go write. But tell us.
The Lord just got a hold of me one day. It's time.
Time. I like that.
It's time. But I've always, you know, pursued it in some fashion, you know, church plays and, you know, my writing. Back in my career, I used my writing skills quite extensively in education and formulating procedural manuals and things like that.
Mm-hmm. You know, you probably won't believe this, but our paths are similar. I was a federal employee myself, and the fact that you were an English teacher, I found that to be very fascinating as well, because I loved English. I really enjoyed. That was one of my favorite subjects. And you were a teacher, and I really adored my English teacher, Miss Scott. And the fact that you wanted to be a writer and you were involved in plays growing up, that's me. The fact that you were a government employee, that's me. And then, you know, finally saying, hey, it's time to pursue that. I just felt a really great connection with you. And I just thought, you know, what a crazy thing for you to do, to just decide, hey, now at the age of what, maybe, how old were you? About 50, 52?
I was 55.
55.
Yeah, mid-50s anyway. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know the date. I know the date well. It was June 21st, 2000.
Wow. And, you know,
it's emboldened. And the Lord said, I'm taking you away from here to another place. Wasn't quite sure what that other place was yet, but I kind of figured He wanted me to start writing. So.
Wow.
And I sat down and I wrote a poem called The Song of Peace, and there you go.
Can I ask you something? When you said the Lord told you that it was your time to go ahead and do something, a lot of people want to know, how does God speak to you? And I tell people he speaks to you in so many different ways. It could be someone coming to you and giving you a message. You could dream something. You could read something. You could hear something. Some people have visions.
Oh, all the above, Sue. Yeah, all the above. In this particular instance, there was absolutely no doubt. None whatsoever.
Right.
I'd been having some confusion as to, where I should be going. I knew that the job just wasn't for me anymore, but I didn't know where else I should be going or what I should be doing or whatever. And I walked into work, and it was like, how you can sometimes feel like you're outside of yourself watching yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, not that I had an out-of-body experience.
Right, but it just doesn't feel real. You're like, whoa.
It's like I was observing myself in the situation. And God's voice said, you don't belong here anymore. And I'm going to tell you this little story, because I said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, take my hand and follow me.
Wow.
And where am I going to follow you? The Other Side of Darkness. Now, that is the title of my first book that got published 11 years to the date. Well, let me correct myself. I received the contract on that book 11 years to the date that God called me to write. Only God can do that.
Right, and then for you to win an award for that is just awesome.
Yeah, his affirmation is just phenomenal. And so, I just followed that voice. The thing is, I did not know that my first book would have that title, The Other Side of Darkness. And it is, when I said I sat down and wrote a poem, there was that line in that poem that he was taking me to the other side of darkness.
Wow.
So, it was the publisher who changed the title to The Other Side of Darkness. My original title was not that.
And now I want to say to you, to the listeners out there, because I always tell my listeners, success is not overnight. And if you're thinking that it's going to be that way for you, wake up now. This is not a test. This is not a test. This is a PSA, a public Sue announcement. Success is not overnight. And we know that it took you, approximately 10 years to get an agent and get published. How was that for you? I mean, here it is, you get the call from God to go ahead and write, but yet it's taking you 10 years to bring this thing to fruition. How did you persevere?
Well, there comes, once you get in the boat and you go and you get where God wants you to be, he has to season you for the work. And that is, learning the craft. Even though I was an English teacher, I tried not to let that get in the way.
Right.
Because fiction writing is not the same, so...
no, it's not.
Yeah. So, I had to learn the craft. I had to, everybody wants to just sit down and write the great American novel right off the bat, but you might do it, but it may not be your best effort.
I say to you, good luck with that.
Yeah. So I just had to learn the craft. I wrote about 8 different books before I finally got one published, but I went to a lot of writers' conferences. I networked. I got my agent very early in my writing career, which is something, that was really a blessing.
Right.
But the agent was frustrated. And my agent said, well, Linda, you write so far out of the box, you're in another room.
Wow, I love that. I'm acting like I'm getting an Oprah moment now. I've got to write that down. You write so far out of the box until you're in another room. I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just love that.
So it was hard to find a place for my work in a very rigid Christian literature industry. But that industry is really loosening up now over the years, and it's getting more real. It's getting, broader. People love Christian fiction because it's clean, it's wholesome, and there's a message, and there's always something positive that they get from it. So a lot of the publishers are loosening up, and I got my start through print-on-demand, small press. We're looking for some greener pastures, but if they come, they come. If not, well, the Lord knows where it's got to be, when it's got to be, and where it's got to be. So
I know that's right. In the meantime, we got to keep on moving. Don't stop. Keep on
betcha.
moving, taking it one step at a time. And speaking of taking it one step at a time, just as your career is starting to take off, now you're dealt a life-changing experience. You're told you're diagnosed with cancer. And as I understand it, we were talking off air, and you were telling me today, I guess, was your first day of chemo. Is that correct?
Yes, I just had my first treatment 2 weeks ago, and it didn't. And the first day or two were fine, but then I developed this severe infection and had to be in the hospital, and that. And of course, your doctor's on vacation, and all those scary little things that happen along the way.
But Linda,
so through all that, what God was telling me, He says, if you continue to try to fly through this on your own strength,
oh man,
that's all the strength you will have is your own strength.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let me get in there under your wings and lift you up, you'll have all of my strength. So, so that's what keeps me going and keeps me laughing. And
wow.
Yesterday I had the shaved head experience because my hair fell out. So.
Well, before you get into that shaved head experience, because you're laughing, so that tells me it's going to be funny, a funny moment.
It was. I mean,
but before you get, Linda,
came out of it, so.
Before you get into that, we got to take a commercial break. Before you get into it, we got to take a commercial break. But guys, listening, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Talking with Sue Ham show, and my guest is author Linda Rondeau. And you please come back with us after the commercial break. She's going to tell us about the funny story of her shaving her hair after chemo treatment. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back.
Become a published author for less than $25. Have a book idea, poems to share, and creativity to spare, desires, dreams, and knowledge to pass along? You need the ebook Become a Published Author for less than $25. Available now at SueHam.com. That's SueHam.com. Don't dream about being a published author. Become one. Get the ebook Become a Published Author for less than $25 at SueHam.com. That's SueHam.com.
All right, and we are back with more of the Talking with Sue Ham show, where my guest today is Miss Linda Rondeau. She's an author, got started late in life, but did not let that stop her from pursuing her dreams of writing. Today, she has written 3 books, and she's also battling cancer. But listen, if you're just tuning in, you will see that she's high-spirited, and she has no excuses. She's all about getting out there and making it happen. So, Linda, right before the break, we were talking about you losing your hair and having your first treatment of chemo. Go ahead and tell us that story. How did that go again?
Well, no, after I saw the doctor just yesterday, actually.
Wow, okay.
And, yeah.
Wait a minute, did you have chemo yesterday?
When the mood hits, do it, go for it. So, no, I said, no, this is ridiculous, it's coming out in clumps and all that stuff. So I said, bald is beautiful, so.
Hey, I'm almost there.
Yeah, it is. So I just said, well, okay, let's shave it off. And I did treat myself to a really nice high-end wig. And I will give the ladies some advice here. Don't chintz when it comes to, you're feeling pretty on the outside of something's going to make you feel good about yourself. Don't be chintzy. There's other ways to save. It was a little bit of a sacrifice on my husband's part, but we said, no, we're going to do it. We got the good wig, and then I went and I had it fitted, and
wait a minute, Linda.
All shaved, and
Linda.
I just documented that we had a blast.
Linda, did you say we got the good wig? Did you say that?
Yeah, I got a good wig, Ava Gabor wig.
I love your spirit. I'm telling you, I love your spirit. And the thing about it is you've just recently been diagnosed with cancer, right?
Oh, this is brand new for me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is brand new, and you have the spirit. I mean, your spirit is just so high. How do you do that? I mean,
'Cause it's not my spirit; it's God's spirit within me. And like I said, you know, He told me. He said, if you keep trying to apply this on your own strength, that's the only amount of strength you're going to have to deal with.
I like that.
But if you let me lift you up and pull you high, you've got all of my strength.
I love that. And how is this experience affecting your writing?
It's tough some days. You know, no bones about that. You know, my the chemo brain kicks in. You know, and it's,
right.
Oh, there's a word there. I know. There's a word there.
Hey, at least you have at least you have an excuse. You can say chemo brain. That happens to me quite frequently, and I don't even know what to call it.
Well, I had a lot of excuses. I'm a senior citizen, and I was blonde. I don't know what else.
Well, I am blonde.
So senior citizen, blonde, and chemo brain. So I've got it all covered.
You are funny. I like you. I'll tell you, you might be my sister from another mother, because I tell you, we're too much alike here. We're too much alike. But
I think so. I think all women who, you know, are striving to try to be more than what they are, you know, and again, I have to keep going back to you will only be what you see yourself as.
Oh, man, you're talking my language.
Yeah.
You're talking my language.
You need to see yourself as God's child and that He loves you. And we as parents, we love our children, and we want what's best for them. We want them to flourish. We want them to be happy. We want them to feel good about themselves and produce. But then again, the danger is in the world sense of success.
Right.
You know, that means money and cars and, you know, the materialism part of it. That's not what God's talking about. At least I feel that the fulfillment comes in knowing whose you are.
Whose you are.
Not who you are, but whose you are.
That was an aha moment. It's not who you are, but whose you are.
Whose you are.
Okay, all right, I like that.
And that's the beginning. You know, when I went through I had a little bit of a rough life. Went through a divorce and remarried and all that, you know, things. And I had a very poverty-stricken time after my divorce, and was a welfare mom for a while.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, all that wears on you, and it just drives your self-esteem right through, you know, the gravel. You feel pounded and nothing but a heap of useless flesh, you know. But then when God gets a hold of you and He shows you how much He loves you and how precious you are to Him, that's where the self-esteem begins to really take root, because it's an honest self-esteem.
It's not the ego.
You have value in God's eyes, and who more in this world do you want to be valued by the Almighty, you know?
Yeah, absolutely right. And it's in that moment where I think you really begin to shed the ego.
Yes. The ego goes, and God just starts chipping away at this and chipping away at that, and starts shaping your mind and your heart and your spirit. And, you know, happiness comes from that. Such joy in knowing that we have a Father who nothing in this world is going to happen to us, even cancer, death, automobile accident. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens to us, it's not that He sends it to us, but He gives us the grace to get through, because He cares so much for us.
Wow, I got to tell you, Linda, I'm looking at the clock and my time is dwindling down. I could sit here and talk to you for days upon days upon days, just listening to your heartwarming stories, your experiences, and your wisdom and your knowledge. But we're on radio and we only have so much time. But before we get out of here, there's a couple more questions I need to ask you. Real brief, really brief. Tell me, how do you define success?
As I mentioned before, to me, success is knowing whose you are.
Mm-hmm.
WHOSE. And that's the beginning of success. Now, to me, I'll probably never have a fleet of Cadillacs, but I have all I need, I have all I want. I think the ability to have a dream that God has inspired you with, and to be able to pursue that dream and to see something come of it, to me, that's success too.
Oh, I love that definition. I love that. To be able to have a dream and pursue it and to make something of it, that's success. I love that. Now, before we go, definitely tell us any last words you would like to leave with the listeners to inspire them, because again, you got your start late in life with pursuing your dreams. And then, after pursuing it, getting started, the career soaring, you're told, hey, okay, now you have cancer. Any inspirational words of wisdom you want to leave with the listening audience to let them know, hey, it doesn't matter what your circumstance is, because here you are, Linda, a woman who was on welfare at one time, who had low self-esteem, and who is now battling cancer, but yet and still it has not taken your joy, it has not taken your laughter, and it has not taken away your faith. So what would you say to the listener?
Cancer can't steal unless you let it steal you.
Say that one more time for me.
Cancer will not steal you unless you let it steal you.
Oh, my goodness. That is something profound right there. I'm telling you. Well, Linda, tell us how we can find you. Where can we get your books? We know you got the third book coming out in December, but tell us how we can find the other two books and how to connect with you.
Okay, I'm www.lindarondeau.com is my website. I have two blogs. One is This Daily Grind, which is an inspirational humor individual blog that right now I'm chronicling my cancer journey on that one. And that is This Daily Grind on blogspot.com. The second blog is called Geezer, Guys and Gals, and that's my senior ministry to senior writers. So it's a hoot. It's not necessarily a Christian blog. It's just, it's for and about seniors and memories. And my books can be found on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, ChristianBook.com, the first one. And the third one coming out will be on ChristianBook.com. America the Second, though it's a Christian book, is pretty much limited right now to ebook. But the print version should be out soon.
There you have it. You can connect with Linda in many various different ways, but definitely go to her website, and that's Linda Rondeau, and that's spelled RONDEAU.com. And I'm sure from there you can connect with her on her blogs and different websites and get her 3 books off Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Linda, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and being a great inspiration to others.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you now.
God bless you even more. Folks, if you're just tuning in, that's right. This is the Sue Ham Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break with the Sue Ham Tip of the Week. Are you ready for a show that's going to move you, inspire you, and get you off your butt to accomplish your dreams? Then make sure you're tuning in this Sunday to the Talking with Sue Ham show. That's right. Sue Ham is on the radio. Coming to WPDT 105.1 starting on Sundays. This Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Tune in and catch the Talking with Sue Ham show, a show that fuses together comedy, inspiration, and motivation. You don't want to miss the Talking with Sue Ham show, happening on Sundays at 5:30 p.m.
Become a published author for less than $25. Have a book idea, poems to share, and creativity to spare, desires, dreams, and knowledge to pass along? You need the ebook Become a Published Author for less than $25. Available now at SueHam.com. That's SueHam.com. Don't dream about being a published author. Become one. Get the ebook Become a Published Author for less than $25 at SueHam.com. That's SueHam.com.
And we are back with the Talking with Sue Ham show. Got to tell you, I was excited about that interview with Linda Rondeau. She is just a basket full of joy. I tell you, it's got to be a hard thing battling cancer and to still possess all that joy, you know, just getting started with your career and life, and then to find out, hey, now you have cancer. But she has the right attitude. She has the can do and will do attitude in spite of. And I love the fact that even though she didn't start her dreams at an early age, she didn't let age stop her. You know, she wanted to be a writer, and she made it happen at the age of 57, which goes back to you can do it, but will you do it? Before we get into the tip of the week, I want to encourage you to please go out and buy my book, Don't Quit, Follow Your Dreams. A great inspirational story telling you how I went through repossessions, foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, poverty, and how I even thought about killing myself, you know, because I was afraid. I let fear stop me from achieving my dreams, which is what I'm doing now, being a radio host, TV host, a playwright, and different things of that nature. And I got to tell you, when you allow fear to control your life, you're not living. You're not living. So I encourage you to pick up my book, Don't Quit, Follow Your Dreams. We've got some great tips in there to help you identify your purpose and your passion and to help you get about living the best life that you can live. So go ahead, get the book, you know, for all you nosy people out there. Find out what Sue Ham went through. And hopefully, you know, when you see what I went through, hopefully will encourage you and inspire you and motivate you to get up off your butt and live the life God intended for you. All right? All right. Well, listen, we're about to get into the tip of the week. And I think today's tip is appropriate for the interview that we had. And it is, you can do it. The issue is, will you do it? For with God, everything is possible. Simply put, there is nothing you cannot do. We all have free will, which means you have the right to act on any thought you have. Everything required to succeed in this world is already within you. I mean, you came here prepared and equipped to live on purpose, to utilize your gifts, to serve humanity and glorify God, and to enjoy the beauty of nature. Your desires, your dreams, your visions, they're meant to be accomplished. You can do it. With God, nothing is impossible. So if God is in you, and He is, then you can do whatever it is your mind conceives. Today, make the choice to do it. You can do it. The issue is, will you do it? And as my friend Linda Rondeau has told us, it's never too late to follow your dreams. And you don't have to allow your circumstances to send you into grumpy land. So no more excuses, folks. Get out there and make it happen. And also pick up that book. Don't quit. Follow your dreams. I've gotten great reviews on it. People are saying, Sue, your book is moving me to open businesses. Your book has moved me to go back to school. Your book has moved me to live life again. You know, just really to be on purpose and follow my purpose. So go ahead and get the book. And you can get it at SueHam.com. That's SueHam.com. And by the way, if you're in King Street this weekend, make sure y'all stop by Grand Central Station Restaurant. Tell them Sue Ham, baby, sent you, and you'll get 10% off your meal. Well, until next time, y'all, I got to tell you I love it, and I hope you're loving it too. But until next time, you know what you got to do. You got to live, learn, love, and laugh. Catch y'all next week on the Talking with Sue Ham show. Love you, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Talking with Sue Ham show. I hope you join us again next week. And please make sure you go to my website at SueHam.com, SueHam.com. Share the show with your friends and family, as well as leave me a question or a comment about today's show. I would love to connect with you, be your motivational speaker, talk to you. Just go to the website, SueHam.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week, same time, 5:30 p.m. on on WPDT 105.1.